About a year ago, about a year ago, my 64-year-old father, who's been drinking for about 44 of those years, fell down outside while he was drinking. So basically, he was like on the patio, standing there drinking, and he fell backwards and cracked his head open. He called me. I went there. We Ubered to an hospital. In hindsight, I should have called an ambulance, but he insisted no ambulance. I wasn't sure why at the time. I don't know if it was to save costs or something else. But yeah, we took him to the ER. They saw him, they treated him. There was an addiction counselor who gave us some pamphlets and stuff for resources for addiction. I looked up an AA meeting. Once my dad was out of the hospital, we went to the AA meeting together. He got a sponsor, all that jazz. Now, what this really taught me was that during an emergency situation, I felt really alive, which I later learned through Al Anon, which is sort of a side organization to AA that is for family members of AA members or alcoholics. Um, and basically, one of the questions they asked to help identify if you're sort of someone who, I don't know what the word is, but you're sort of being affected by the addiction and you've become a sort of supporter of it. So one of the questions was, do you feel like you come alive during an emergency? And I answered yes to that question. And it basically taught me that the emergency gave me a sense of purpose, and it also removed a lot of these blockers and barriers to things like social anxiety or fear of failure. And so I would just talk to people, I would do things, and I would just get stuff done. And it made me wonder, what would it be like to operate life that way all the time, regardless of emergency or not? And so it drew me to the realization that emergencies can actually teach us a lot about how we should live during normal time. Because during emergencies, usually most of the bureaucracy gets thrown out the window and the most useless rules go first. And we simply do the things we believe need to be done. And so it begs the question, why do we have those rules and that bureaucracy and those limits in our day to day lives? What do they protect us from? And I've learned they don't really protect us from anything. They're there out of fear more than anything. And during an emergency, the fear goes out the window and we just need to get stuff done. So, what I'm trying to take away from that these days is to figure out how can I live life more freely? How can I figure out what needs to be done and then take the steps needed to do it, like AA or whatever it might be, and just accomplish the results, regardless of the path there. And I think the more that I do that, the more that I practice that, the less difficult it will be in the moment, and the more I will get rid of a lot of these limitations that exist for no other reason than my own fear or my own sort of habits. So I advise you check it out and try doing the same, right? Remember the last time you were in an emergency situation, how did you respond? And what lessons can you take from that into your day-to-day life? And I guarantee you, you'll find your day-to-day life starts to improve over time.